I realized something just now. We can never leave Lon and Seraphy alone together.
Nothing good could come of it.
World of Final Fantasy is like Kingdom Hearts minus the Disney characters and crowned with Final Fantasy nods instead. Twins Lan and Rain wake up to find their town of Ninewood Hills vacant of civilians, their memories lost, and a mysterious fox and woman proclaiming them as heroes. In order to regain their memories and find their missing mom, the two travel to Grimoire, wherein they find an evil federation threatening the lives of those who inhabit it. Filled with cameos from nearly every Final Fantasy adventure, World of Final Fantasy is a nostalgia trip wrapped in a goofy, over-the-top humor that is genuinely funny at times, but also drunk on its own references and jokes to the point of exhaustion. Plus, it's almost as convoluted as the aforementioned Kingdom Hearts franchise. There are chuckles and heartwarming scenes abound, along with some minor intrigue, but thankfully there's a fast-forward button for when times get a bit, well, annoying. Despite what I thought of the story, the gameplay had me hungrily coming back for more. It's a somewhat traditional turn-based RPG battle system infused with a Pokemon twist. The twins are known as Mirage Keepers, and thus they have the power to capture monsters, or Mirages, in order to harness their power. Mirages come in 4 sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. Lon and Rain can fight in their normal, giant forms, and can stab a medium and small Mirage on top of their head. While in Lilican mode, they're considered medium, so they can hop aboard a large beast and stack small Mirages on their head. Extra large monsters are essentially summons that work similarly to how they work in Final Fantasy X. Mirages grant the twins their powers, and mixing different types will result in a sort of cross-pollination of elements. Every weakness and strength of those monsters are then transferred and amplified to Lon and Rain. This combination made me feel more engaged with battles, as I often found myself strategically swapping Mirages in and out of my lineup. That and there's actually not that many, so I wanted to try them all, plus areas were generally filled with certain types. A fire cave would be filled with Mirages weak to ice, for example. Sometimes these dungeons were tricky to read, but again, experimentation and a good sense of diversity made combat more successful. Catching Mirages are trickier than Pokemon. You don't simply weaken a monster in order to catch it. Instead, every Mirage is different. Sometimes all you have to do is just hit it, and other times you need to strike it with the right element or infect it with a status effect like poison. It was yet another puzzle-like element that had me coming back for more. That, and when Mirages level up, you can unlock abilities and boost stats to thus make the twins even stronger. To harken back to Final Fantasy X again, imagine it like a sphere grid, only it sometimes led to evolved forms for your monsters. Thankfully, they could be reverted back infinitely as well. It may sound a bit perplexed, and it is, plus you're outnumbered at first, making the first 2 hours difficult, but after you get used to it, it'll become second nature. These new introductions to an otherwise formulaic device found in Pokemon are genuinely refreshing. There are a few hiccups that are a tad odd in terms of a new video game in 2016. First of all, World of Final Fantasy incorporates random encounters, a mechanic I thought was long destroyed, and yet here we are. Thankfully, they're not as excruciating as they were in the heyday, but it's still annoying. Save points are limited, and dying in a dungeon after a long journey can be disheartening. On the other hand, the fast-forward mechanic during cutscenes and battles were a good addition, less on Bravely Default. I just wish they took more ideas from that game as well. Visually, the game has a very distinct look. The characters in Mirages are almost clay or figurine-like, and the environments are somewhat plain but thankfully varied. You'll travel across glowing forests, icy caverns, desolate prisons, and beyond, all with familiar touches. Plus, holy crap, this game has towns! It's a fan service letter through and through, complete with callbacks, remixed music, and everything in between. As cute as everyone was, I just wish the plot serviced everyone better instead of delegating heroes to the background. World of Final Fantasy is by no means a masterpiece, but it's a spin-off worthy of the series' name. The story is ridiculous, and going back to random encounters was, to be blunt, a stupid move on Square Enix's part. But these and my other issues with the game pale in comparison to how much I enjoyed playing it. It revitalized my faith in Square Enix and the franchise as a whole. Hopefully, if this gets a sequel, all the kinks can be worked out.
See you the next Tama!
Hey, wait! When's the next Tama, Tama?
Oh,
Did you know that was a Reaction Examiner video? If you liked it, you should subscribe to me to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Also, if you have some other interests, like sex for example, check out Tomops, which is a comedy sex podcast thing wherein my best friend and I check out the weird and abnormal and the erotic. And of course, you should support me on Patreon because, hey, I want to make the channel better and I want your help to do so. Plus, if you want to check out my writing, check out Game Jerk, where I have archives and new stuff for all projects, okay? You can find all the stuff and more in the description with the links below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.